Pitbull Sports Media, home of the big dogs. So dig it. Errol Spence versus Terence Bud Crawford. This was definitely a mega fight of the decade, and it went down in a spectacular fashion. Now, I'm a little late getting these videos off, but I had to take a little break. I'm just getting into this YouTube stuff. I see I get, new subscribers. I got a very low count, but man, I appreciate all the love. So I'm going to get back on my bully and get back to this boxing. So now, Errol Spence came out. Everybody know the results by now, obviously. But Errol Spence came out, looking a little lethargic, not like himself. And I won't say he laid the egg, but the fight did not go the way that I thought it would go. Now, Terence Crawford has shown why this is his era. He's definitely one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. You can always argue that. You know what I'm saying? You got Muhammad Ali, Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, everybody, But I mean, Terence Crawford, when I look at his career, 2-time undisputed, first man ever. Shout out to the GOAT. She did it for the women's side, but the first man to ever do that. And he still has a chance to go undisputed at 154 if Charlo and Tim Tszyu can get their act together. This will definitely be the greatest boxer on paper. It'll have to be, especially pound for pound. I mean, come on. Now, Errol Spence came into the fight 33 years of age, 28 wins, 0 losses, 22 knockouts. He stands at 5'9" with the 72-inch arm reach. But Crawford, 35 years old, came into this fight 39-0, 30 knockouts. Stands at 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Now, the tell of this fight was that Bud was going to be too small. Spence was too big, too powerful. Was going to come forward and just bully Terence Crawford. The other tell was Terence Crawford was too much of a talented fighter. He lives and breathes boxing. Errol Spence is, he seemed to have a foot in the party life and a foot in boxing. But Terence Crawford, dedication and focus was never questioned. And Terence Crawford being the sniper that he is with the accuracy, his speed, the switch hitting, everybody gave the talent department to Crawford, but they gave the power, bully, the size department to Spence. Now, when the fight came to life, Terence Crawford denied the fight, seemed to be the bigger man. He rehydrated well. Spence has always said that he had a problem making 147 and that he wanted to move up, and he definitely looked weight drained when he came out to fight. I mean, he looked good, but you can tell, man, Crawford definitely filled out way more, and we definitely know Spence is definitely the bigger fighter, but the night of the fight, Crawford team definitely put him in the right position, the way his body filled out. Now, during the fight, Spence came forward, usual fashion, but Crawford had an answer to everything that Spence did. Crawford took away the jab. Crawford even took away the power. I mean, when Errol Spence tried to get in close, Terence Crawford was just basically just willing him off, throwing him around the ring, backing him up. And then that first knockdown, I believe, was the second round. I was like, man, Errol Spence is in for a long night of boxing. Now, Terence Crawford showed why accuracy matters. Precision. He countered. He came forward, and at times it seemed like he kind of carried Errol Spence, try to make the fight look a little bit more interesting. Now, a couple of knockdowns later, they had to stop the fight. Errol Spence got up after every knockdown. He was ready to fight and go out on his sword. That is a true champion. It just Crawford is an elite. He's one of the greatest. Spence is great. He's elite. But there's a difference when you're one of the greatest. Pound for pound, there's no argument. I believe Terence Crawford is definitely number one. I mean, Inoue did a great job against Fulton, which, I should do a video on. I'm very late, and I do owe my channel, myself, and the few subscribers I got those, that content. But this is just, a little recap video. I know everything is out there. I just wanted to touch bases, with this fight. It was a mega fight of the decade, and I believe this is going to lead to so much more in boxing. This has been one of the best years that I've seen with my own two eyes with boxing. Yes, I'm a young man, in my 20s, but this was a great fight. I would love to see what the rematch holds at 154. I mean, I believe Spence is going to come in heavier. He's going to come in more disciplined. He's going to come in watching tape. That's another thing. Spence said he didn't have to really study tape. You can tell Bud Crawford was in that tape room. As a former athlete, a former D1 athlete, tape, film means everything. Because you can tell by the way Crawford was countering, the way Crawford was just fighting Errol. He knew what Errol was going to do. It was very technical, very basic. We do know Errol is very technical and very basic, but I mean, it seemed like Crawford knew every twitch, the looks that Spence was giving. He knew what was coming and where it was coming from. Again, we're gonna touch bases. I'm gonna drop a couple of videos. I'm gonna drop a lot of videos this week. Well, a lot for me. I'm not really big on YouTube yet. I'm just trying to, get my foot in the door. So again, Pitbull Sports Media, home of the big dogs. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, check your boy out.